Now it's like lights, camera, action, and
It's a event.
I don't know how much really by way of news comes out of it. There were some relevant tidbits, and one is that both Clark Hunt and Andy Reid have said that Reid will be back next year as coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's not a surprise. Last year, and people get this twisted, and that's okay. We always see this. People believe what they want to believe. I was on Kansas City Station earlier today explaining to them I never reported Andy Reid was going to retire. The report last year was the Chiefs are bracing for the possibility that he will.
Right.
They were lining up alternatives in the event that he did.
Right.
Now, he gets a big new contract right after they win their third Super Bowl overall and second in a row. Maybe it was a leverage game, or maybe it was just reality. I'm not going to keep doing it for this amount of money.
Sure.
If you want me to keep doing this,
both can be
you
true.
got to get me up in the range of the best coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that's what really most people in football think. I think we're at a point in Andy Reid's career where we probably have to ask him that every year, no matter what. Like, is he going to come back next year? But I think what you're saying is the truth. I think that's what most people in the league, I should say, believe is the truth. That, he was, he's getting up there in age, but at the same time, he was like, hey, I like doing this job, but I'm not going to do it anymore for that money. Like, I'm maybe the greatest coach in the history of football now. It's time we start to get paid that way, and I'm glad. I do not want to see Andy Reid go away. I want to see them in full effect as long as possible to see if they can keep this dynasty run going, right? Like, don't you always feel a little cheated with, like, and I know they won one more Super Bowl, but like the 49ers, Montana, Bill Walsh, and then Walsh left after number 3, and I know they won one more, but I always would have liked to see what it would have.
I was sick of the 49ers.
You were sick of them.
I was done with the 49ers.
Right, well, most people are sick with the Chiefs
How
right now.
were you not sick of the 49ers as a Giants fan?
I was definitely sick of them. I hated them. I rooted against them, but as a football fan, and as I got older, I think I started to go, man, I wonder what it would have looked like if Bill Walsh would have stayed there, and to see what could have happened, would have happened. I guess that's all I'm
You know what I did
there.
once before a Vikings-49ers playoff game?
Right.
I had a Jerry Rice Topps football card. I burned it before the game.
And that was
in
probably
an effort.
And you won.
No, it was a year too late.
It was the loss?
Yeah. I was trying to do a Malocchio, and we know the Malocchio is powerful.
It does work.
We know.
Yes,
we know
we
it's
do.
powerful. No further comment on that. But here's Andy Reid from today on the question of whether he's motivated to keep going in an effort to leapfrog the greatest coach in NFL history. Bill Belichick might have to make room for Andy Reid. Here he is.
Yeah, that's not part of it. That I enjoy teaching, so I don't get caught up too much on all the stats and all the records and all that stuff. But I enjoy being around the guys. I enjoy football, the game. You can't put in the hours that we do and not enjoy it. I love the game.
Gets back to what we were saying yesterday. They found a way to sustain the grind, that it's not miserable, that it's not a taskmaster, that it's not a guy who's constantly chewing guys out as to what they're doing wrong. They enjoy what they do. They love what they do. They love being around each other.
Right.
And it shows. And it's sustainable beyond. That's the thing. They win 3, we're going to be talking about, are they going to do 4?
Right.
They win 4, we're going to be talking about, are they going to do 5? It's not going to stop as long as Reid and Mahomes are together.
Agreed there. Agreed. And hopefully they can keep Spags, too, because we know he's an all-time defensive mind on that side of the ball. They got something special, and they got a lot of gas left in the tank. That's why you don't want to see it end, right? And to that point of, like, we did discuss it yesterday, and what you're talking about is, they're a little different with their grind. It's an enjoyable grind. I've been there a lot over the last 5 years in that building, in that facility, when they're preparing for playoff games, training camp, middle of the season. You mention it, you name it, I've been there, okay? And you know how it is. Like, coaches in a season, right, regular season, they're always cordial. But if you go there or whatever, they kind of want to, hey, good to meet you. Oh, yeah, let's sit down, and I got to go. And, kind of the media guy for the team is kind of, hey, like, they're being polite, but they're kind of pushing it along. Like, coach has got to go. He doesn't really want to deal with this, but he's going to be cordial and do that. And then the players come in, and especially the quarterback, kind of the same way usually. Like, hey, it's good to meet you. They're awesome. They're nice. But you could tell, like, hey, they want to go, and other things are going, right? You go to Kansas City, the first thing you do, you go to a practice, you go, guys are flying around here, and they're flying around and going crazy, and they're smiling. They're, like, having fun. It's amazing that way. You go to see Andy Reid in a meeting, and he's just plodding along. He's relaxed as could be. Oh, here comes the greatest quarterback of all time, Mahomes. He's surely going to want to get this done. Make sure he goes around and talks to the camera guys. He says hi to everybody. Never acts like he's in a rush, right? So that's where I always get back to that, like kind of what you're saying there. Is it's just they have this way where even though the rest of us, I feel like, feel the pressure they're under, they don't feel it. They enjoy it. They love it. And they really thrive under it. They really do. Unlike any team I've ever seen really before.
They're, I think of the kid that doesn't study for the test and shows up and loves that adrenaline rush. They're the kid that still studies.
Yes.
And loves the adrenaline rush.
Exactly right. Right. It is. It's rare, right? But it is. It's like they find the way to study but still go play Madden and PlayStation and Xbox and have fun and be kids and then go, okay, I can still now go back and take the test tomorrow and be really good at it. And they have found that balance. And, of course, I think Andy Reid has that. And then when you have this quarterback who has that, and then they found a few other guys that also enhance that. Like Kelsey's like that. Chris Jones is like that. Where, again, they love the game. They work hard. They're competitive as hell. But they find the enjoyment out of it, too. And it's a special way. That's why I keep saying I think it's very refreshing off the heels of the Patriots dynasty, which was quite the opposite.
By the way, Andy Reid is currently 4th all-time in regular season wins among head coaches with 273, just 55 behind Don Shula with 17 games in a season. What is that, 4 years, 3 years?
Yeah, you're right. That's
could be 3 years.
Yeah, it's probably 4. Like you're right. I mean, you look at it's let's just say 12 games a year.
That's with playoffs. So
right.
He's got 301 with playoffs. He only needs 46 with playoffs. It's even more likely to catch him. 46, that is 3 years away.
Exactly right. I mean, you're right.
If
with the playoffs,
keep doing
what
playoff
they're doing,
wins, if they keep doing in the regular season,
accumulate 2 games every year in the playoffs, you're right. I mean, it seems like it.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes. And we've talked about so much, not only Andy, the quarterback, all of that. It's I got to look it up, and maybe Pete could do it for us on the fly here. But they were the youngest team in football when they won the Super Bowl against the Eagles 2 years ago. I know they're still one of the youngest teams in football, and I got to think that's what Andy Reid and Brett Veach look at and go, hey, we're killing it in the draft. And we got the pieces and a lot of the meat and potatoes of what we need for the future already settled. Let's keep this thing going. And I know a lot of people are sick of it, but I want to see them keep it going and see how long they can annoy the rest of the country with their dominance here.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.